When can a state enforce immigration law? Iowa passed an immigration law that just simply mirrored federal law and deferred to a whole bunch of federal decision makers in interpretation and enforcement of that law. The Biden Justice Department and a bunch of other people, a bunch of activists came in and said, you can't enforce immigration law. And it's now before the Federal Court of Appeals. The district court agreed. And their argument is the naturalization clause is not the right of the federal government to prohibit states from simply enforcing federal immigration law, which is what the left wants and the pro-immigration side wants. Like the lunatics that filed suit on behalf of the Haitians against J.D. Vance and Trump for pointing out they like to eat pets. We'll see how that works out for them. But, if you're talking about the topic, then whoever that topic favors is who's winning. They probably should have learned that lesson, but they haven't. So I was saying this cannot be what's called complete field preemption, because that would be in derogation of state sovereignty and thus violate the 10th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. So they're saying it has to be a conflicts analysis. Unless state law conflicts with federal law, the state law should be completely allowed, or you're saying that the rights reserved to the states were stripped from the states without explicit statement that it was stripped from the states in the Constitution. So it's a big decision because a lot of states want to enforce federal immigration law when you have administrations like the current one that don't.
The statute that, or the law that they passed, was making it illegal for an illegal immigrant who was deported to re-enter. This is coming out of Iowa, which is, I don't want to make a mistake, but that's not a border state to begin with.
No, but they have faced a huge illegal immigration problem of their own.
So, but the state passes a law that says anyone who's deported, the illegal who's deported, it would be criminal at the state level to re-enter the country. Now, right. How would the practical question we can set it aside, how would Iowa enforce that for Arizona?
Well, because they could lock somebody up who did it because they violate state criminal law.
And then the feds come in. The one thing I was asking is, how do the plaintiffs even have standing unless they're illegals who are in the country? But then if the feds are opposing
it wasn't. See, obviously those people can't sue, right? It tells you what a joke standing is, because the district court, of course, anybody can sue over this.
Yeah, and anybody. But the feds are coming in and saying it's already against federal law to illegally re-enter once you've been deported. Why the hell are the feds not enforcing it? Are they just claiming asylum? So they're saying they're not illegal now? They're asylum seekers?
They're just not enforcing it. I mean, mostly it's catch and release. So, okay, that's bad. Please show up for your hearing 3 years from now.
And in the meantime, okay, wild. But it's going to get struck down. I mean, the states, I in my limited understanding.
This may go back up to the U.S. Supreme Court, because Supreme Court's never fully adjudicated this. The same questions pending on the Texas laws before the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. I think sooner or later this was going to require the Supreme Court to clarify. Well, I thought they made a wrong decision in the Arizona case, where they limited the ability of the state of Arizona. But at least there, they did a conflicts analysis. They said enforcing the state law conflicts with federal law. Mm-hmm. This doesn't. So can the states enforce their own criminal laws when those laws do not even conflict with federal law? And the Constitution does not give exclusive jurisdiction over everything related to immigration. It just says, as to naturalization, a uniform standard. That has nothing to do with someone who's illegally present in the state as well as the country being locked up for it.
All right. That is fascinating. I'm a Canadian. I don't really understand some nuance in the Constitution. I just always operate on the basis that anything related to immigration is federal and the states have no say in it. And that's what I presume the court is going to say.
And that's been, the Supreme Court's never said that, but that's what lower courts have been doing practically and functionally since the Arizona decision.
Okay. Well, we'll see where it goes then.